This question from Ankara.
Yes.
Can we refer to the name Ahmed in the Holy Quran as a sign of relation with Mirza Ghulam Ahmad alayhi salam? It sounds logical since the name Muhammad is mentioned in the Holy Quran, Surah Ahzab 41, only once, and Ahmed is also mentioned only once. Why is this? Two different names, although they are derived from the word hamd.
The word?
Hamd.
Hamd. There are two different questions altogether. The first one is that primarily the prophecies are about Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There is no shadow of doubt. The prophecy, as we find in the Old Testament, refers to him as Muhammad. Although the Christians have tried their best to confuse the issue by declaring that it says Muhammadin, this is a plural, and proper nouns are not pluralized. So it is just a word of praise, but this is false. According to the correct usage of Hebrew, Muhammadin is a word of respect for Muhammad. Like we pluralize those we respect in our addresses to someone whom we respect, we say aap. It is you in plurality, and not thou, which is singular. Nobody takes objection against this. Similarly, it was a custom that even proper names, when mentioned out of respect, they were pluralized. So this excuse of the Jewish and Christian people is absolutely false. There is positive evidence that this was what used to take place. And the word Muhammad, as found in the Old Testament as Muhammadin, does not mean an ordinary person or ordinary persons, so many persons. It only means one person with very high status of piety and praiseworthiness. You understand? That goes for Muhammad. As far as the word Ahmad is concerned, we find it written in the Bible, New Testament I mean, as Farkalit and also Ahmad. In the Old Testament, authentic versions as discovered from a cemetery in Syria, the Old Testament authentic version, the New Testament authentic version declares the prophecy to refer to Ahmad. And the word Ahmad is exactly similar to the word Ahmad. T and D are replaceable with one another. So we have proved, we have written evidence that according to the New Testament, the word Ahmad was used, which is used by the Holy Quran. And it is used in relation to the appearance of Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam after Jesus Christ. That is correct, 100%. So, as it was used once in the Old Testament, once in the New Testament, so the Holy Quran also repeated it once here and once there. You understand? But the question arises from this as to what about the second advent of Jesus Christ in the form of Ahmad. Will it take place or will it not take place? And if the word Ahmad had already applied to Ahmad once, why should it have been repeated in application to the advent of Jesus under that name? This is the complicated question. I believe, and I have the writings of Hazrat Muslim to support me, that the real name Ahmad is that of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah. But it is the question of manifestation. The word Ahmad had one manifestation with reference to history. And that was during the first 13 years of the advent of Muhammad, where he was not permitted to strike against those who struck against him. That is exactly the teaching of Jesus Christ, which we find implemented by Jesus himself during his lifetime. He also taught others, if you're struck on one cheek, offer the other, but never answer the use of force with use of force. This is Jesus. So when he says, Ahmad will come after me, and we see the beginning of Islam as a new era of Jesus having reappeared, then we understand that the word Ahmad was absolutely applicable to the early history of Islam. Then we turn to the history after Hijrah. In that history, the word Muhammad is so manifestly clear that no sane man can doubt it. So both these words, Muhammad and Ahmad, are initially applicable to the appearance of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The word Muhammad, it should be noted, has appeared many times in the Holy Quran, but it has come once with reference to Jesus Christ. وَمَا كَانَ مُحَمَّدٌ أَبَا أَحَدٍ مِّن رِجَالِكُمْ is the fundamental verse of the Holy Quran, which speaks of Muhammad. So I answered her in relation only to the prophecy of Jesus Christ. So as far as the prophecies of Moses and prophecies of Jesus are concerned, Ahmad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is mentioned as Muhammad first, one time, and Ahmad as one time. The question is slightly misphrased. The question should have been that why do we believe that Ahmad, having once come, should come again? You understand? This is the only valid question which arises out of this question. Ahmad should come again because Ahmad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had two manifestations. One, the manifestation of Muhammad, which was fulfilled once and for all. Nobody shares this manifestation with him. Nobody shared, nobody will ever share this manifestation of Muhammadiyat with Ahmad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But his manifestation of Ahmad had once again to be manifested during the latter period, latter days. Why? Because after Muhammad, Ahmad came, Jesus came, and Jesus is understood to come again and again. While he speaks of Ahmad as Ahmad, and he is the one who, according to the Hadith of Rasul Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam, tradition of Rasul sallam, is to come again. So the one who said Ahmad would come after me is Jesus, and it is Jesus who is mentioned by Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to come after him. So in what capacity he would appear in Islam? Evidently, in the capacity of Ahmad, because it is his prophecy. You got the point? He had to appear again because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had prophesied repeatedly that he would appear again. In what capacity an outsider appear in Islam? If he comes as Jesus, then he has no right to rule the world of Islam, because the Holy Quran would say, Rasulun ila Bani Israel. So the only capacity in which he can come is under Islamic identity. And under Islamic identity, the only identity which can be referred to him is that of Ahmad. So, Ahmad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has prophesied that Jesus would come again, not in the sense that the old Jesus would come again, but in the sense of his own being Muhammad and Ahmad, and his own declaration that the Ahmad manifestation would reappear. Now this declaration is understood by all the important Muslim ulama, and they have clearly stated that the word Ahmad, although it appeared first, it will appear again. And the greatest Muslim scholars and the most holy among them have said this. With reference to the yuzhirahu ala dini kullihi, that's the verse of the Holy Quran. So all these things are well connected. Why did they invent a thing which the Holy Quran or Rasulullah had not said? These great scholars could not have attributed anything false to Rasulullah, but when they understood the Quran, they understood from the Quran that in future the movement will take place, which will the movement of the conquest of all other religions. This movement could not have taken place without God's interference, and this movement could not have taken place by anyone who is not a representative of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's impossible. That is why all these early scholars were 100% convinced that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam must be involved in that movement, but not in his name of Muhammad, but in his name of Ahmad. You understand? So the answer is a bit involved, because it cannot be answered like yes or no. It has to be proved with the evidence spread over all the history of Islam and the meaning of some verses of the Holy Quran. So when you combine these things together, the only conclusion you can draw is the one I have presented before you, that Ahmad was the manifestation which was to come again. And this is exactly what Hazrat Masih Maud Islam has claimed. He said he is Ahmad in the sense of the Ahmad, the first Ahmad, I'm his representative. But in some of his writings, it is misunderstood, who do not know all of his writings, and it appears that he claims to be the only Ahmad. I have read those writings, and I am sure those who have not read all his writings, they may infer from this that he is the first Ahmad, and he is the Ahmad, and Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was only Muhammad. Nauz billah min zalik. This is wrong. When he refers to the same subject, he speaks of Jesus Christ as well as his position in Islam and the position of Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He says, ابن مریم کے ذکر کو چھوڑو، اس سے بہتر غلام احمد ہے. Leave the mention of Jesus Christ and there is no more to come. The one who has appeared as a servant of Ahmad is better than Jesus Christ. So, servant of Ahmad positively indicates that Ahmad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is Ahmad and he is the servant of Ahmad. So, reading all his writings, what appears as totality is the thing which I have just mentioned to you. He believed Ahmad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to be the first Ahmad, and he believed himself to be a repetition of that Ahmad as his perfect servant. And in that perfect capacity, the word Muhammad would not be applicable, because the word Muhammad speaks of one who brings the law from Allah. And because Hazrat Masih ﷺ was not to bring a new law, so he would only represent Rasulullah ﷺ as Ahmad, like Jesus Christ, who did not bring a new law. Understood? You got the answer correctly? Okay. Time is over?
Yes, looks like it.
I'm sorry, I didn't notice the time. Huh? It has just flown past. Huh? And tomorrow you will begin with this, inshallah. And do you think you will take 10 minutes or so?
10, 15 minutes, yes.
Huh? So again, it will be the repeat of today, inshallah.
قد انتهى الوقت.